You are listening to Life Dasit.
Hello and welcome to Life Dasit. Today on the show, we are spotlighting an upcoming film festival in Cambridge. We're talking about Do It Your Damn Self, a national youth film festival. And we'll be diving into it through the lens of a leader in youth media, repping Haiti, with a passion for comic book art, painting, and filmmaking. Lionel Blaise is the teen media program manager at the Community Arts Center. So excited to welcome you to the show. Welcome. Hey, Lionel.
Hey.
A note that this episode is being recorded at the CAC in the brand new podcast studio. So thanks for opening up the space just to kind of do this. And this will be broadcast also on 94.9. Let's just jump right into it. Do it your damn self. That phrase, that feeling. Can you just tell me what that means to you personally?
It's about actually putting yourself out there. It's about not relying on a certain system to help you put your voice out there, you know? And that's one thing that I love about this festival. It started in 96. A group of 6 girls just felt misrepresented in the media. And they wanted to tell their stories their way. So it started with them making their own film about, their lives and all that. And then it transformed into hey, there are other programs like ours nationally. Let's see what they're doing and let's be the platform for them. And it's been going on for, this year will be the 28th year that we're having an actual festival, but it's 29. It's 29 years.
Yeah.
29 years old, so it's really cool to be a part of that legacy.
Yeah. Only a few people climb to the top and get to show their films. A lot of people get to see them. It's the 28th iteration on June 6th and June 7th of 2025. And I'm curious, why do you think it's still important to bring this festival to life here in Cambridge and in the greater Boston kind of area?
Well, I think it starts with the Community Arts Center itself. It started way back in the 1930s. It's almost 90 years old now. And it's always been a place where youth create art. And it kind of stuck to, different forms of art from just regular drawing to what we're doing now with filmmaking. And it's something that it's important. And the reason why we work with youth is because sometimes they have a lot of new ideas that, us as adults need to see and understand. And that's, there's been this movement of, a lot of progressive thinking, a lot of different thinking that I think we've been needing to embrace for a long time. And it's really cool to have a platform like this where a lot of the teens from the country, and also we've been getting submissions from around the world too, that want to tell their stories their way and also put light into these things that people don't really think about. So it's really, really cool to see.
Your own connection to filmmaking started at an early age. I'm wondering if you could take me back to a moment, a feeling of making a video or a film. What was it like for you?
For me, I think just in life, I've been a huge fan of films, and I want to thank my dad. He passed away earlier this year. He kind of helped me with my path in life. My dad and I used to watch James Bond movies. Not appropriate for a young kid, but but that's how I got close to him and I bonded with him. And then I'm oh, it'd be really cool to make a film. And then shortly after that, he took me to see Jurassic Park, and that kind of really pushed me to make art, not in not filmmaking, but by drawing and painting and all that stuff. And then in high school, my teacher, my art teacher, I went to Boston Arts Academy. My art teacher was just hey, are you interested in doing this after school program, making films? And I'm yeah, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
I would love to make a film. and it was right around like the hype of The Matrix. So I was like a big fan of the Wachowskis.
Yeah.
So then I went to the ICA, which was like the Fast Forward program, and that's where I got to meet I got to meet Joe. And the funny thing about
Shout out to Joe. Shout out to Joe.
Yeah, the funny thing about that is that Joe used to work here at the Community Arts Center, and he used to be the teen media person, and he was part of the Do It Your Damn Self.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that it kind of went full circle that, I started working here, kind of doing the same thing. So, yeah, and when it comes to like me making my films, I usually like to work with, I'm pretty collaborative, so I like to work with a lot of people. And it was, of course, like filmmaking is just is a big collaborative thing anyway. So the films that I created there with like my best friend Philip and Mike and Isnard, like a lot of people, like it was really cool to help them put their vision out there and also have them like submit these films to different festivals. So it's really cool.
Your role here at CAC has you connecting with young people, thinking about media, creating, curating, bringing DIYDS to fruition. What are some lessons that you're receiving from young people today? If there's anything that's like been coming out of like working with a young person or the group.
I think for me is to like stay up to date on things. There's a lot of things that they know, like technologically, like using like apps and stuff like that. So for that, like I gotta stay up to date. But when it comes to like a lot of the things that a lot of the topics that they're concerned about, it's very, it's stuff that's like happening now. They're like, especially with the recent elections. I did a video with my teens. I'm just like, hey, like, how are you feeling about all this? And, there's a lot of concerns that they've had about this new administration. And, even though they had concerns, they're just like, we'll be okay. We're resilient. And that's really it was really powerful to see and just have them like talk about that. But also like, for me to just stay wacky because, teenagers can be pretty wacky too. So just kind of meet them at their level and, be that catalyst to help them like really share their ideas.
From what I remember, there's a lot of social justice oriented work in terms of the films and the kind of themes that come out. So I'm curious, this festival is coming up. It's a free screening, which is really neat. So for an audience member who goes to the inside screening or to the outside screening, whatever it is, for an audience member who gets to go to see this, what questions or thoughts would you like folks to kind of have linger with them afterwards from the work?
Teen work can be very powerful, and to also just think about things that they usually wouldn't think of, and also just embracing art, embracing what these young creators are doing. And we're a little unique with our festival. Like it's not like a weekend long thing where it's like super long films that people are watching like all weekend. Where it's very short, it's very tight, and all these films are really short, but they'll leave you feeling something. I think this year it should make you feel. I don't want to spoil anything. It'll just make you think. I know it's a very like safe answer, but it'll make you think. Yeah.
So could you just bring us behind the curtain for a minute to the process of picking these films? Is there an anecdote, or is there a story, or is there a moment that kind of encapsulates the buzz?
I think it's every time that we met and we watched a certain amount of films during the day, like during the day that we meet. What's really cool about this group is that they're super into it, and what I love is that like their discussion afterwards. Yeah. They're like they watch the film, they're just like, oh, I think this should be in, and then they're like, no, I don't think this should be in, and then like this is a really deep discussion as to why or why not it should be in the festival. And it was like very thought-provoking conversations, and we had to kind of like talk about it more the next time we met. So it was a bit grueling.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of films from a lot of different places, but yeah, it's moments like that, moments that invoke conversation, that invoke deeper thought, that I was just like, this is why I love doing this.
Yeah.
Like it's really cool.
That level of discernment, that level of diving in deep to a conversation about a piece of media is so important now more than ever before to have that conversation. So I just appreciate that everyone will get to go see the screening and be like, yeah, those films are crazy, but the process to get to it is also a process of letting young people kind of like almost educate themselves in terms of like why a film needs to be in, or what's up with that shot, or I think they're trying to say this, but I got that,
Yeah, we had moments like, oh, I really like the way this film looks, and it's like, okay, but like, how is the story? Like,
Yeah.
and a lot of times like, oh, the story's really good. I'm like, all right, but like, how is it like crafted? Is it like in terms of like the quality and stuff? And I think we ended up like with the stories that kind of left us like the films that left us feeling something and left the teens feeling something. I tried to really stay out of the decision making. I'm just like, listen, I'm just here to like manage you guys to make sure that you guys are doing what you need to do.
Yeah.
But I also like help facilitate like conversations and deeper thought about certain things. So
you yourself are an artist. You're a teacher, a husband, a student, and most importantly, a father. Thinking about legacy, we talked a little bit about Joe and kind of the legacy that he left here, and kind of you, almost like being in that space too, which is kind of like an interesting kind of passing the baton scenario. But what do you hope the teenagers who are participating in DIYDS receive from this experience?
I hope that they really see that they made a mark, like, because I think for the past few years that I've been doing it, it's been almost like a different group of teens. And I always start, whenever we first meet, I'm always like, this is your show. You need to put your stamp on it. What are you going to do that's different? Like, what kind of films are you guys going to pick that's going to make the audience feel a certain way? Like, this is yours. I'm just here making sure that things happen. That's all. I'm just here, like, being the delegator and all that. And it's really cool because they design and also think about, like, hey, this is what the logo is going to look like this year. We're going to design the T-shirt for this year. We're going to, like, how are we going to host the filmmakers? Like, where are they going to go? Where are they going to experience here if they've never been to Cambridge before? And I just want them to leave, like, thinking and knowing that they put a mark on a festival for that year.
Yeah.
Like, it's theirs and they own it.
Yeah.
And they'll always have that. So
what do you open the screening with?
we open with a bang. I'm just going to say that.
Yo, man. All right, cool. We're going to keep it moving. Two more questions. Who should be in the audience for this? Who should be coming to the screening? And if anything, why should people care about youth media?
I think anyone over 13, because there's some heavy topics on there. And I know for me, like, I wouldn't want, like, my little kid to, like, watch some of these films just purely because of content. I'm sure they'll get something out of it.
In the last decade, the media landscape has changed. Films are becoming shorter at times. Work is understood more as content than art. Worth is based on likes and views at times versus substance. What are some things that you're noticing, or any shifts in the work being made?
It's funny, like, we've been seeing a lot more, like, a lot less, like, activism kind of stuff, and more like, I'm just gonna experiment, and I'm just gonna do something that's personal. I'm gonna do something that focuses on, like, relationships. It's a lot of the pieces that we've been getting are like narratives and a little bit less documentary. And like that's really cool to see, because I think that in the past when people would think about youth work, it's always about like having a PSA or, you know, having them talk about a certain topic that's, you know, that's happening now, like something political, which we do get. But I think majority of the pieces that we've been gathering is seeing narratives from Black and brown youth. And that's really cool to see, because that's how like this festival originated. Like I want to tell my story, my own story. I don't want to, you know, piggyback off of something that, you know, is topical right now. So that's been really cool, and that's what I try to do. Like during the week when I teach like an intro to filmmaking class, like I want you guys to tell your own story, you know. So it's
There's a quote from your website, from the DIYDS website. It says, "Founded in 1996 by 6 Cambridge teens who felt misrepresented in the media and wanted to change it, this festival is a champion of social justice and issue-focused youth filmmakers who want to make it happen," unquote. This June, you can catch free screenings at the Harvard Art Museum, at MIT Open Space. You can find out more info at DIYDS. That's DIYDS.org. A big shout out to the curators, Ariana, Sol, Befkir, Felix, Angel, Justin, and Vladimir. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's Befker, but
Befker. Yo, Befker.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yo, send me a letter. But yeah, kudos, because that's a lot of work. That type of stuff is like, it's really fun work, but you got to get through it. But yeah, any I'm just gonna throw it back to you if there's any other things that you want to tell people about. But yeah,
it's 2 different vibes, and I think, you know, both opportunities to see these films will be fun for everyone. So
yeah,
come through.
Yeah, I just want to thank you for your time.
Thank you for coming. It's good to see you. It's always been, you know, it's been a long time since we've really like hung out and talked.
Yeah,
but, it's good to see you.
Thank you for being on the show, and thank you for opening the space up. DIYDS.org. You can find out more about youth films happening in Cambridge this June.
Thank you for listening to Life Dasit. Every day is unique, and so are you. Believe in yourself. If you want to listen to more shows, you can find them on Spotify and Substack. LifeDasit. It's Life Dasit. That's it.